Hello, how are you? Facebook Live. Coming at you with day 33 of 365 days of Facebook Live. How exciting! Got past the 30-day hump. My first celebration is going to be 50 days. That's going to be like, it's going to be 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300. And then I might just do 365 at that point. Like, why do 350 if you're going to have 15 more days? You know what I mean? Just like one solid celebration. Okay. So, welcome. First of all, welcome if you're here. If you're new to me, my name is Jessica Lozano. I'm a women's relationship and feminine embodiment mentor, and I help women, I guide women, I usher women to have the most extraordinary love lives with the love of their life, with the man of their dreams, with, the guy that they're going to spend the rest of their life with, whether they are on this path of calling in their soulmate, their sacred union partner, or if they're in a relationship, they want to change the trajectory of that relationship and reignite love, sexy time, passion, all the things, connection. So that is what I am here to do. So far, that's my mission on this planet, unless God gives me a divine shift. So, what we're going to talk about today is about knowing, like, I want to give you so much peace of mind, ladies, that are desiring to be with a man and wondering, is he into me or not? Like when you're in the beginning stages of like dating and all the things, especially if you're doing online dating, I want you to know that if a man is into you, he will let you know. A good man, like a great man, a good man, a man who is like a leader, a man who's going to take initiative, he will make it known. You do not need to guess. If you need a guess, there's a couple of things. One, he doesn't have his leadership skills very strong, which I'm not sure if you want to start doing that and go into fix it mode, into like, oh, well, either fix it mode thinking like, oh, well, he's just shy, I'll do it myself, and like I'll show him how to do it. Or you do that, you do it yourself. The sexual polarity is already going to be off, and that's not really how you want to start a relationship if you're really desiring to be the feminine embodiment in your love life, and if you want him to be the masculine embodiment. If that doesn't bother you, then fine. But in my experience and the women that I work with, if you want to have an extraordinary love life, you really want to be in more of the feminine masculine embodiments. Or there's a second thing happening where he has something going on with a girl in his life and he hasn't necessarily really made the moves because of that. So I'm going to tell you a real life story about this exact thing that I'm talking about. And I'm going to show you that this is exactly why you don't need to be all crazy wondering why, and trying to get his attention or feeling confused by the mixed signals, because if he's interested, he will make the moves. So I have a friend who has this gym crush, right? And they've been making eye contact at the gym, and they've been like giving little googly eyes to each other, always catching each other's eyes, all of the things that you experience when you're like, ooh, I think this person's interested in me. Like, ooh, we keep catching eyes. Like, ooh, right? Like, he keeps walking close to me in the gym when he leaves. Like, there's little tells. Like, you can tell when someone's like interested in you, right? Like, there's little things that they do, and then you respond back to that. You like give him the little eyes as well, and maybe you make a little initiative to also kind of be around him. So my friend was going crazy. She's like, I really want to talk to this guy. Like, she was like obsessed, like down to knowing what his entire routine is, at the exact time that he gets there, all the things. I'm like, girl, You're just like obsessed. To the point where I was like, okay, you're getting a little annoying. I think you just need to break the ice to like to kill this thing. Or if you really want him to approach you, just hold on to the energy, really expand, lean into the tension, lean into the sexual tension that you're feeling and the need for it, right? So they're they're getting closer and closer. Eventually, she tells me, she's like, I swear it just came out of me. I know you told me not to do this. She's like, but it just came out. And she says, she compliments his eyes. She's like, you have really nice eyes. And the guy's like, what would you say? She's like, you have really nice eyes. He's like, what? She's like, you have, she said it again. He's like, oh my God, I thought you were telling that my eyes, that you have, your eyes are bleeding. I don't know how he heard that. Anyway, so they started having a conversation. Da 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 da. The workout closes. She leaves. He leaves. All the things. By the way, there was other little things that this guy was doing. He would open the door, and they both be walking out to the car at around the same time. I was like, this guy. I was like, there's something going on with him. Either he doesn't have good leadership skills, like he doesn't know how to make the moves. He's like, he's really young. Maybe he's into the whole like 50-50 thing. Like I make a move, then you make a move type of like, you know, like go halvesies on the paycheck, on the dinner check. Like, or like, I don't know, or he has a girl. Like there's something going on. Like there's something going on here. So, and she's feeling that energy. She's really wanting to know, really wanting to know. Finally, the ice gets broken. They talk a little bit. They leave. The next day, he approaches her. He says, makes a funny comment about his eyes bleeding. Like, are they bleeding? They have a conversation. They're on the same workout machine and this and this and that. So that was like maybe like a Friday. The whole weekend goes. Monday comes around and he completely like does not talk to her. Like, does not even make eye contact with her. Like, catches her eye a little bit, but like when she gets close to him, he like turns his head, won't even make anything. Like, make a move, nothing. Happens 2 days in a row. And she's like so confused. I was like, just let it go. Forget about it. Forget about it. Like, move on. Like, don't worry about it. There's something going on with him. I don't know what it is, but there's something going on. The next day, I think like Wednesday, she finally gets all, yeah, yesterday, she finally gets all the details. He comes up to her and he said, okay, this time no headphones. Or no, he said something about no headphones. My sister or my friend was just not wearing headphones. So they start talking the whole time, and finally it comes out that he has a girlfriend for 6 months. I was like, I knew it. I knew it. That's why he did what he did. That's why when he felt he crossed the line, he shut it down. He shut that shit down. There's a reason why he shut that down. And this is why. So I told my friend, I was like, you need to stop giving this guy googly eyes. You need to live your life, you know, be court. If you want to say hi, all whatever, but not in this flirtatious thing. And I would not be his friend because you want to respect that relationship. Right? Just as you would want someone to respect your relationship, even though he's already crossed the line, you don't want to be, you want to be in your own respectable place. And you want to show him that you're not a woman that that second picks and all of that. You need to value yourself so much. And he's already given you a hint of how he is in a relationship. He's giving googly eyes to you while he's in a relationship? I don't think so. I don't think so. So, that, my dears, is a beautiful story of if a man is not interested in you, he will not make the moves. That's why he didn't get her name. That's why he didn't get her number. That's why every time that she got close to him, he wouldn't even really like, he didn't acknowledge her after they broke the ice. That's why he never broke the ice. She broke the ice. There's always a reason. When that happens, when you start to feel like, oh my God, does he like me? Does he like me? I don't know if he's into me. I don't know. He's not making any moves. It's been like 2 months that we've been texting, or that he's not interested. He's not interested, or he has very poor leadership skills, or he has a girlfriend or something like that. There's a reason why he's not interested, and you got to let it go. Don't fret over it. Don't question yourself about it. He's not the one. Move on. Confidently pass. This is what I teach my one-on-one clients. Confidently pass. If the man isn't showing up to you in a way that you desire, if he's not making the moves, confidently pass. If a man is not honoring or respecting your request, your desires, confidently move on. He is not the one. You don't need to be in this questioning phase about if he's into you, if he's not into you, if you don't need to. If a man is leaving you confused or emotionally unfulfilled, it's time to move on. You have to ask yourself, what kind of a man do I want? Do I want a man who's going to lead and make the moves and show me that he's interested and continue to follow through on that? Or do I want to be in an emotionally confusing relationship where I do not know, or I'm just second bits? You don't want that. I'm telling you right now, you don't want that. That leads to heartbreak. And this is what I help my clients through, for the women who are really desiring to have that like sacred union partnership. There is a building of that inner security that needs to happen. If you're still questioning, but yeah, Jessica, but maybe I just need to make the moves, or maybe I'm not, doing something right, and that's why here, maybe I'm being too needy. And no, my love, you're not. And that comes from and stems from father wounds, sometimes mother wounds as well, being gaslit, being in previous relationships where there's more of an emotional bond, or there is a familiarity of the wounds that happened, the way that your father connected with you in a emotional level, right? The way that he showed up for you in your life. When we like eroticize those wounds, and what that means is that we think that it's love when we feel it again in somebody else, but really what it's calling for you to do is to heal that through working through it, by when you notice that these wounds come up, feeling into your inner security and saying, this is an old wound and I'm no longer available for that. And what happens is usually you have to really be able to hold and process a lot of uncomfortable emotions, which is what I support my women through. So that they can confidently pass and actually work through everything that's in there, so that they clear, which is usually a lot of pain, a lot of inner child pain, a lot of inner child wounding that needs to be healed and alchemized through feeling. And that's uncomfortable, I know that, but it's necessary. And creating a new identity of the type of woman that is worshipped by her king. This is an individuation process of really releasing, because you may or may not know this, but where you are now, if you haven't gone through an individuation process, if you keep repeating the same patterns with men, is because of a generational either vow that's been passed on between mother to mother, between mothers to daughters throughout the generational lines, belief systems, the way that they view men and the way that they feel they need to be treated in men. And now it's coming to you to be healed and to be alchemized, to create that individuation of your own sovereign identity, of the way that you really want to be and see relationships and men so that you can have an extraordinary love life. We energetically stay connected with like the umbilical cord through our mother and through that line, and we have to cut that because a lot of relationships are very much mimicking what we saw growing up until we decide to make the change. And that's what I do with my clients. We make that change. We make that fundamental change that it will change you as a woman forever. My clients are never the same in a good way. They transform. They rise like a phoenix of this new woman that is no longer available for bullshit, who's no longer available to be confused by a man, to be less than, to not have her emotional needs met, to not feel safe, to feel gaslit and feel like, okay, I feel like he kind of loves me and he does all these grandiose things and like these other things, subtle things that he does for me, but I also feel like no, like he doesn't. Like this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel safe. Right? It's not, your relationships aren't meant to feel 50-50. Like 50% of the time they feel good and 50% of the time they don't. It's meant to feel always very satisfying and never once feeling you have to second guess yourself. And this is where I guide my women through so they never second guess themselves and they attract a man who chooses her and she chooses him. So if you are interested in working with me, I have one space available for my Soulmate Attraction Mentorship. This is a 6-month high touch container. You get the highest access to me. We meet once a week on Zoom. We have our own private Telegram chat where like we will talk about everything. We'll integrate everything we talked about on the coaching call. That's where a lot of things get activated, is after the coaching call as you're integrating the work. And as life happens, you don't have to wait for the Zoom call. We have the Telegram, which moves your growth. It moves your growth. It moves your growth. It expands, it accelerates everything. And everything, all my masterclasses are included in anything that we do from the moment that we start to the moment that we finish within those 6 months. All my masterminds, my programs, like if you join now, we're in Dripping Pleasure. You get Dripping Pleasure as part of our one-on-one package. And if you are local, that's funny, the microphone like lights up when I talk on the bottom. I wonder what that second one is. Anyways, if you're local, if ever we need to do like an in-person ceremony, like I feel like we need that, we get to do that together, which is really fun. I love meeting you in person. But if we do need to do it online, we do it online. It's still very powerful. Yeah. So I have one spot available. So if you are ready to call in the love of your life, you're ready to change the trajectory with the type of men that you call in, you're calling in the one. Women work with me when they're calling in the one. They're no longer available for bullshit in their lives. And they know that there's a deep transformation that needs to happen within them. That's who this work is for. So if you are ready, message me. I would love to talk to you. We will either hop on a quick connection call on Zoom to make sure that we're the right fit, or we will use the chat inside the voice notes. Whichever feels most comfortable, whatever feels right for both of us. And then that's it. So what else do I need to say? I think that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this transmission, and I will see you tomorrow.